Okay, I'm talking about arpeggios here, and sometimes the tape stops, the segment stops, and it's not making a tone for me. So I miss it sometimes, but I think I noticed it. So the deal is when we are using the fretboard as a almost like a keyboard. Now I don't mean like this. That's what I thought first. Let's tune all these to the same note, and I'll just play these chords going here, here, and here. And that didn't work, but they have it's called C6 tuning. Okay, and we have that like nice bending note. That sounds like almost like a Hawaiian song. Or in country western, it's just that really sweet sounding guitar sound. That's a C6 tuned laptop guitar, where they're playing it almost like a keyboard. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about that, but I don't mean that. I'm just talking about when we're doing arpeggios. So let's say we're going to do a Dorian arpeggio there. We start on two. It's a minor, so I know it. Two, minor third. So always start a minor arpeggio with a minor third. But then we've pushed that second minor third from the third to the fifth to a major third because we brought the first inversion interval down. So now it's a major third. It's a major third to the fifth. Okay, so we got, and then straight up. Now we're looking for a minor third. We're going to bring that F up one from the warp, and then continue on with a major third from there, because after the warp, tuning goes back to P4. Alright? Now that's the way that's played. However, so that's using the keyboard. That's using it, going this way. But now, on a piano, going that way would be, you're going up. It's kind of backwards on a piano. So we can go up because we're climbing up a fourth each time we hit a string because of the tuning. That's the way it's set up. Now what I was saying was, with the G, let's say, over here we got Mr. G here. Alright, he's the 5 of C. So we've got, we can do a G pentatonic. Why? Because we're kind of cutting out our territory. We are going to outline this chord. It's a pain to play. There's another reason. It's a pain to play. Alright, there's our G. Now, let's say we start an arpeggio here. Major third, minor third. I don't want to go any lower than that because what would be there? The fret nut would be there. We can't do it any lower than that. Like that, okay? But I want to be able to see the notes a little bit, so I'll leave that off. So we want to go up in G. So we got root, we got 5, 7, 2, and then straight up to root. Now we want to find a 7. Well, we got to go all the way up here. Alright, that's a major third. So we get to this guy. We've gone out of the cage. I haven't seen this happen yet, but we haven't gone out that far, because we do have some. We have a half cage that's something close to that. That probably starts on the A cage here, so it would be the A D E cage. See that B is one step lower than that. Don't freak out if you go out of the cage. Don't think that you'll never go back into caging again. Just remember that the cages line up together. Okay, so there's the C cage, the A cage, and the G cage right here. We don't have to look much further. We'll talk about that. So because we went from this 5 to this 7 here, all right, and then we're going to look for a 2, and from a 2 we go up to what? Up to the G again. So see, we're ending on a 7-2 root. That's first inversion, where we started on root. Because when we doubled this string, that's when we added an inversion to it. So that's what I was just explaining about. And we're going to see that later. Okay. So, let's take a break a second. Alright, I decided to bring us up to speed here. So, this is what we're talking about. There's no reason to panic and think we're going to have to do this on a generic fretboard, or just stare at a piano key board and try to figure it all out from there. So we have the G, which is the Mixolydian mode. We have the G arpeggio, and I got 2 cases of it here. 2 cases of G. Right? Geneseo? No. No commercials. So let's look at this. Now I can access this other box here. This is a low D box. You see that R there? On my guitar it's yellow because that's C's color. That's my low C. So we can do our regular arpeggio. Here's 3 to the G bar, and then up to catch this 2. Now what's more important, before we reinforce the idea that if you take this arpeggio and go up and stay in this box, what is this box? Well, it's certainly the G5 box, right? In the key of C, G is the 5th, excuse me. So we've got a G5 box. The E is the 6th of G. Okay, it's actually, sorry, the E is the 3rd of C, and the G is the 5th of C. Alright, so, you know, you could translate that would be 6 to root. It's the same inversion interval, it's a minor third. So from E to G. Okay, so pretty much you've got E, G, and then I know it's pentatonic, so I just play a pentatonic scale. It's E, G, A, B. Alright, now for some reason it wants to, I want to skip C here. Now that's strange. So E, G, then A, then we're going to C. Because in G, actually it's a C shape. It's a C shape root pentatonic scale. Okay, if we're going to do the G, that's the 5th. It's going to be a little different. Because remember, in the key of G, there is no root. It goes to the 7. So in the key of G, it's not the key of G, in the G mode, it would be 3 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 2. We skip the C in the G pentatonic. E to the 5th, and on and on. So we want to do the arpeggio, okay? So all the red guys here, they're all red because the G is the red note right there. G, the red note, red note, G key. There's another one up there on the bar. So that's your double G. If we want to go up here, we're going to get this, we're going to go add an inversion.